Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Select professionals. And you know what, I talked about that before. And got some people huffy over it, but I'm just saying a real thing. Now, I've said before, I got a college degree, got advanced degrees, right? I've dealt with professionals. I know who the fuck getting pussy like crazy and who ain't. And you have a whole lot of professionals who are also select men. In fact, I would argue that the majority of select men, since most of the hoo-ha has been over select men in the black community, the majority of them are actually professionals. The majority. Yeah, you got some bums in there, but, they are not the majority. And I'm going to say that for one reason. One word, hypergamy. Women looking to move up. They ain't moving up with some bum. That bum is just a good time fun. But when that woman's chasing somebody, she looking for those looks. She looking for that body build. She trying to feel that sex appeal. But she also looking for that degree. Remember, a whole lot of women are coming up, especially if they strivers, like any part of the middle class, middle to upper middle class. They looking for that degree as much. Especially anybody who's been in those circles will tell you. And in fact, I've talked about this before. I talked about this with Kevin Samuels, And the thing is, they're select because, one, they're rare. They're rare because only, as of 2017, only 6% of black men, about 1.3 million, had advanced degrees. As of 2017. Maybe it moved up a little, but when you look at those professions that they go crazy over, it's very small. And ironic, and it's really even smaller who would be considered select, because a lot of it is based on the job. A lot of it, not all of it, because the dude still got to have a certain body build. He still got to have some freak in him. He still got to have that sex thing where he's turned on, where, the women is turned on by him. But, it's not that many because, certain professions. I was talking about this in private with some fellas. It's like, yeah, it could be the doctors and attorneys, but not so much the engineers. So, it's a real thing. Now, of course, you probably have some engineers in there, some business owners and stuff. The celebrities are maybes. I'm going to tell you why. They only good as long as they got that celebrity. But you get a professional, got a degree, they have some longevity, and women looking for that, Many women are still looking for that. You got so many women still looking for a husband. And that's not limited to just black women. So you got other women, that type of guy is select to them. You go in other communities, oh, that dude got a advanced, oh, snap, yeah. And one of the things that make that the case is there's a large number of women across all races who are also educated. They have degrees, and there's been books out talking about these different women, not just black women now. We know about black women going on these news shows and stuff. All those women got degrees. They looking for that guy on their level. Once again, hypergamy. And let me be clear, because I know people always saying Pookie and Ray Ray, but then in another sentence say hypergamy. Hypergamy is moving up in social class. That's hypergamy. So so if a woman dipped down, that's not hypergamy. Go check it out. You look it up in the dictionary. Look it up on any online dictionary or whatever. It's a very precise term. Because one thing, and this is an aside, a lot of times people throw out terms without knowing what they mean or knowing the concept behind it. But hypergamy is not going and getting a guy who just because he look good or even sexual. It's a strictly a class thing. And so because of that, you have a large number of educated women going across races. And this is bore out by any studies you want to look at. But a small number of men. Men aren't going to college the same way. You go to some schools and you're always going to have more women. And those women, when they ready to mate, they don't want to mate down. They don't want to mate down. That's a major issue. That's a major issue. You got women talking about they looking for husbands, and you got some blue collar guys who are probably making more money than they are. You got some blue collar guys, steady guys, good guys, but because of the status, they don't want to deal with. So what's left? You left with the guys with the advanced degrees. You left with the guys who, if they in decent shape or great shape, boom. And in fact, let me throw some underworld stuff in there. Let me throw some underworld stuff. A lot of times when they dipping into that sexual underworld, they ain't dipping down with just some blue collar dude or Pookie or Ray Ray, unless they look extremely sexy or handsome. Now they dipping down. They dipping down with some guy who's probably can play. Got the same degree they got, even better. They dipping down with some doctors. I had a doctor who actually answered my players questionnaire. I might have had a few more, but that was the only one who mentioned what he actually did for a living. And he was right. In fact, anybody who's worked in a hospital, they could probably tell you there's probably about 3 or 4 doctors in each hospital who probably getting all the women. Just tearing up these nurses, maybe some patients too, and attorneys, depending on what type of legal work they doing. Boom. Depending on what type of legal work they doing, they got to have a mouthpiece. Shit, you convincing a jury, especially trial attorneys, you convincing a jury that this dude, who you got pictures of him killing somebody, really didn't do it. And some can do it. You got attorneys who can convince a jury that the sky is green. Shit, if that ain't a mouthpiece, I don't know what is. But nah, you got plenty. That's why I say. But you know what that goes to. That goes to a lot of times when you start talking about relationships in class. There's a lot of divide between classes. There's a lot of divide. A lot of times people don't believe that. They don't believe these professionals because they ain't around them. They ain't been in those circles. But shoot, go to something like the Congressional Black Caucus Legislative Weekend and just sit back. Shoot, I guarantee you, some of those hotel rooms or something, you probably got some orgies going on. And then they go back to their professional job, their legislative job, shoot, congressmen and stuff. Because I know there's like some prostitution rings up there. So, these guys and, some of these interns and stuff, they getting down with somebody. Please, y'all. And, I'm just sharing that because I think what happens is a lot of times people want to think, oh, that's the bad guy or he's broke or something. But no, not really, because actually a guy who got he got a professional degree, he got some money, he can actually be a more effective player. He's actually a more effective player if he chooses that lifestyle, because he can fly. He can, one, he gonna have some confidence. You don't get up to that level without having a level of confidence. 2, shoot, you can afford that nice car. You can you ride in that car, you bring it back to the place. It's a nice old condo or a nice old townhouse or something like that. You got the nice art going, everything nice and clean. Shoot, women be dripping. Because that environment that you like seducing in is very important. Shoot, they got the whole lifestyle, the total package. Shoot, got the money, status, sex appeal. Like I said, you get guys like that. Shoot, they be staying in good shape. They be tearing up some stuff. So, and I wanted to share that because a lot of times people, I just want to expand people's minds because it's easy to think, oh, well, if that person's select, he must be some bum or something. It was like, no. Because if you dealing with upper classes and stuff, higher classes, shoot, the stuff that go down there, they just got sense enough to wear condoms. They got sense enough to wear condoms. Talk to some of those dudes up there. You run into an attorney and you get cool with them. Shoot, if we got some attorneys on here, they could probably tell you some attorneys and doctors and stuff. And, a few other things, some dudes with advanced degrees, they could tell you. Shit. In fact, I invite y'all to like share a little bit in the comments if y'all listening. If y'all want to hear y'all listening, just share something. All right, let them know what's going on out here. So anyway, that's all we got for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.